Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ocean 6 Future Paths webinar. This is Trevor Brucato with RB Milestone Group, Ocean 6's US-based investor relations firm. Ocean 6 is listed in the US on the OTCQB under the symbol AKMYF, and in Canada on the TSXV under the symbol OSIX. Joining us today is the company's CEO, Elad Hameiri, and Business Development Director, Pia Ramon, who will be going through a brief overview on Ocean 6, recent financials, the acquisition of RePack, and upcoming milestones. Following Ocean 6's presentation, we will be addressing questions that have been submitted during the registration process and those submitted live. If you are interested in asking a question, you can submit them in the Zoom Q&A module. Please note this presentation is being recorded today, June 20th, 2024, and will be made available on the company's website at oceansix.com. Following today's event, the company's investor survey will go live and will be emailed to all stakeholders. The results will develop trends on Ocean 6's perceived strengths, weaknesses, and milestones, which will be very helpful in strengthening the company's investor communications efforts and guide the focus of upcoming events. So your participation will be much appreciated. Please note today's presentation may contain forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties that may be out of Ocean 6's control and should not be construed as a recommendation or a solicitation to buy or sell any security. For the company's full disclaimer, please visit their website at oceansix.com, and you can see that on the screen in the presentation. Lastly, RB Milestone, RBMG, is not a registered investment advisor or broker-dealer. For more information on us, please visit rbmilestone.com. And now it is my pleasure to introduce you to Ocean 6's CEO, Elad Hameiri. Elad, the stage is yours.
Trevor, thank you so much for the opportunity, for the introduction, and for setting up this webinar together with us. Thank you, all of you investors that are joining this session. It's important for us to get acquainted with you following up this opportunity to present our company. We are excited to share our story, which we are passionate to grow and scale. In today's presentation, we will go through an introduction of our company, Ocean 6. Why are we here and what we are trying to improve in our world. Pia, our business development director, together with me, will guide you later on the presentation through the e-commerce reusable packaging effort and journey that we are now strongly into it, following up the acquisition of RePack. And last, we will share the up-to-date, let's say, beliefs of why we think it's a great opportunity to monitor this story of Ocean 6 and to join our exciting journey. And I'll start by presenting ourselves. So Ocean 6 is a product engineering, a green technology company. We own a proprietary recycling waste-to-product technology, and we have 30 years of experience in green circular economy, and we basically took ourselves upon a mission to provide solutions for this growing problem of post-consumer recycled plastic materials. We have our own innovative product engineering engine with strong in-house prototyping and a thermoforming plastic factory we acquired 2.5 years ago, which allows us to test and scale the first batch of product that we are developing. We already in revenue stage and generating $2.4 million revenues in 2023 last year through our subsidiary Plásticos Plomi, the thermoforming plastic factory in Spain. And we grew the business 40% comparing to the previous year, so 22 comparing to 23. And we definitely plan to do so in the future. But the history and what we are doing now only indicates what we are planning to do in the future. And this is tackling a growing business, a growing market of e-commerce reusable packages, which is today estimated about 54 billion US dollars, and in less than 3 years will become over a 90 billion market. Next slide, please. As a company, oceansix is a Israeli holding company, and it fully owns 3 subsidiaries: oceansix Germany, oceansix Spain, and Plásticos Flomi. oceansix Germany and oceansix Spain are the R&D centers of oceansix. This is where we ideate, develop, and create all the magics, while Plásticos Flomi is the plastic thermoforming factory that we have, where we, as I said before, generate the first batches of product and scale the products to market. This is today the sole revenue source of oceansix in the group. But as you all, I'm sure, read through our recent announcements, oceansix Spain has just acquired the RePack assets for their reusable packaging solutions. And today, as of today, we are in the market with a product which is up and running, and we will elaborate much more in the next few slides, because we strongly believe that this is the future of oceansix. From figures perspective, so not too long ago, like a little more than a year ago, our stock price was 2 cents. We went through a significant development, improvement, and growth. And 3 weeks ago, we already reached 12 cents of the share price. We recognize this significant effort and journey, and we are very proud of it. Today, the market is not on our favor, as you can look into it. But it's important to emphasize that we strongly believe that at this stage, we definitely have strong, impactful business plan to execute. And once this follows, this would be a great opportunity for you guys to join our journey. As a group revenues, as I said before, 3.3 million Canadian dollar versus a market cap is a really unjustified multipliers. We strongly believe that this is only the beginning for us. Next slide, please. And as I said before, today, and the history is less of our interest in this presentation, we would like to guide you through the reasons behind the RePack acquisition and what we plan to do so together, and why we strongly believe that this is a great opportunity for us to really transform and disrupt the reusable package industry with strong retail e-commerce clients. Pia?
Thank you, Elad. I'm happy to run you through our reusable e-commerce packaging future. I'll try to not spend too much time, so we'll have time for a Q&A later. But I want to give you a feeling of what we're heading to, and kind of like share the excitement that we all feel in the oceansix team and the RePack team. For the ones that do not know what RePack is the first reusable packaging reusable e-com packaging in the world. They have been founded in 2011, where reusable packaging has really not been a thing, and no one even thought about it. And they came up with the idea of really bringing this trash-free packaging to life. They have done a lot of amazing things over the last couple of years, have currently clients such as Hermes, Decathlon, and Royal Canin, and have run pilots with many other big companies. As said, the market was not ready for it. We see that the market is heading towards it, and we'll speak about this in a couple of minutes. So we are very happy, and RePack is very happy that we kind of like joined forces, and we believe together we can really make an impact in reusable e-commerce packaging. Our vision together is really to lead a world where reusable e-commerce packaging becomes the norm. So it's not an alternative, it's not another option, but really creating a new standard for deliveries. That being said, obviously, why we're doing this is environmental impact, creating environmental impact while creating a business. Really always keeping in mind that it's convenient for everyone in the journey, because it needs to be integrated into everyone's life in the future. And this is what we are aiming for. Why we decided to go into reusable e-commerce packaging is because there is billions of parcels flowing around annually. Alone in 2024, this is the number of 181 billion parcels shipped. This means per second, to make it a little bit more tangible, more than 5,000 packages. Per person, on average, 42. So everyone shops a lot. And the majority is single use. The majority ends up in our trash. I know it from I can only speak about myself. I'll go to the trash and I don't have any space to put my carton back inside. And this is kind of also where our idea originated from, that we one day went down to the trash and said, okay, it's impossible. There needs to be a solution, especially because, the waste is only increasing. And already by today, in Europe, for example, per capita, we generate around more than 200 kilograms of waste. So this is a number that is enormous, and it's only growing. So as today, as I said, we're speaking about around 180 billion. This is supposed to grow to 2030 to 260 billion almost. Of course, e-commerce is super convenient. Everyone loves shopping online. So with the e-commerce market growing, of course, also the parcel shipments are growing. And that's why we believe that from a volume perspective and also from a value perspective, as Elad mentioned, we are speaking here about a $90 billion value market. It's a great opportunity for us to really create a business and make a huge environmental impact. And we are not the only ones. We especially see in Europe that the awareness and the trend towards sustainable solutions is kicking in. In 2023, Europe introduced the Green Deal, the PPWR, which really has defined targets on putting end to any wasteful packaging. This is on one hand, every packaging needs to be recyclable, but on the other hand, really when it comes to reusability. We also see that in 2040, that the consumer awareness is really increasing. A study, for example, from DHL has found in 2023 that 64% of European shoppers start demanding sustainable delivery options. And 1 in 2 Europeans is actually willing to pay extra for sustainable packaging. So there is really this awareness from a consumer perspective and this demand that is rising. And that's why retailers take action, because you have a legislation that at some point will force you to offer reusable packaging. You have the consumer really demanding sustainable solutions. So the retailer needs to act, the e-retailer. And we see, for example, that this year Amazon has launched a sustainability accelerator, looking into all kind of different aspects on their e-commerce on how to become more sustainable. And this, if someone like Amazon kind of like starts making an accelerator like this and supporting and really kind of like exploring ideas for them to become more sustainable, we see that the market is becoming ready. And I'm very happy to share here that we are, as RePack, part of this accelerator. There has been a lot of companies applying for this accelerator, and we are one of the 15 that have been chosen to be part of it. We have been 2 days ago in London pitching our solution. We are not at the moment allowed to share a lot of details, but hopefully Amazon will share some insights and their perspective by beginning of next week. So kind of like Google Amazon and RePack, and we'll hopefully have all happy news. So, but this is a great journey or a great development that we see from a retailer perspective. And as said, from a legislation perspective, the deal has been introduced, the legislation, and this means concrete that by 2030, which is around the corner, 40% of all e-commerce packaging needs to be reusable. And by 2040, even 70% needs to be reusable. And everyone that is not being able to meet it will be fined. So we see that there is a shift happening, and we believe this is, or we are happy that we are really at the right time to introduce our solution. Because we have the solution. And our solution is reusable e-commerce packaging. What does this mean? It's taking post-consumer plastic waste, recycling it, making out of it reusable packaging that can be used infinitive times until it will be recycled again. This package will then be sent to the retailer, let's say Apple, for example. Apple will pack their iPhone into our packaging, will send it with the DHLs of the world to the consumer. The consumer will open their package, will take out the iPhone, and will send it via the mailbox or other drop-off points, return-off points, such as kiosks, retail stores. So this is something that we're currently working on, back into our refurbishment center, where we clean and check the quality of the product. And if it's still good, we'll send it back into the loop. So it's can then go to Samsung, for example. So it's really a shared package between brand and retailer. And if not, it will go back into our recycling facilities and will create a new life. So we have on one hand the product that really obviously needs to hold a lot of cycles. And we have the whole, let's say, BD and system behind it, such as IT systems, infrastructure, that makes the solution work. And we'll speak about the different parts of the journey in a bit. Before going into how or what makes our product special, I want to quickly speak about the brand awareness and credibility. One of the reasons why we acquired RePack, because if everyone Googles RePack or reusable e-commerce packaging, RePack will be the #1 that pops up in Google. They have, over the last years, really created a huge brand awareness and credibility from a standpoint that they won a lot of design awards. Their product works, as Elad said, it's operating in the market. They've got a lot of great feedback. And they have been kind of like mentioned in every big media that you can imagine, from Forbes to Vogue. So really there is a huge, strong brand awareness, and we know this takes time. So this is something that we see as a huge asset, and that's an asset that we bought. From a product perspective, we currently have operating in the market the product, the asset that we bought from RePack. It's a durable soft bag. It has a patent, which is a return address system. It's something that eases the return from the consumer back into our maintenance facilities. So this is a product that is very lightweight, but it's super durable and resistant. It's water and tear resistant. It's made out of recycled material, and after its life cycle, recyclable again. Sorry. And it's foldable into a letter size, which means easy return, because obviously it needs to fit into a mailbox. So this is a product that has been worked with a lot of brands. It's proven it's a great asset that we bought. It's mainly for the fashion industry and pet industry, because this is pet food industry, because it has no cushioning, but it serves these markets perfectly. This is something that we are currently working on selling in some markets, and that's something that we're strengthening or growing the business, and that's something that Elad will speak in a bit. But we have more from a product level. We have RePack Beyond. This is something that we were in the past working as oceansix. Now this is part of RePack by oceansix, so we'll be branded as RePack Beyond to the consumer. Why we decided to kind of like look a little bit from a different angle into a product is because we wanted to engineer a product that is a multi-category packaging and not only limits us to fashion industry or industries that have no protection. So we are not only competing to the let's say the classic poly bag that you have the one-time use, but we're really competing against any single-use carton that needs inside protection. So what is special is that we protect with no waste. So we're really eliminating not only the outside cardboard box, but also any internal cushioning material that you need to hold and protect the product. We can also add temperature control. This allows us, for example, to go into industries such as pharmacy and food. And we have a modular production where we can say, okay, for example, the electronic industry only needs the protection, whereas the temperature control is needed for the pharmacy industry, so we can kind of like target it for the different industries. We also have secure delivery, which means that, for example, if I'm sending an iPhone with a high average order value, Apple is able to see when I'm the recipient, I opened the package and ensures that only I myself can open the package. So really have like kind of a secure delivery, so nothing is getting lost. We have on this inflatable solution that protects and controls and isolates the temperature, Also patent, so this is something that we are very keen of, like it's super important for us for all of our products that we bring into the market, that they're patented to keep our advantage. In addition, it's neither a bag nor a box, the same product. Why? It's because we were looking at the whole, you saw the solution cycle, the different stakeholders within, and we really tried to answer all the needs of the different stakeholders, such as, for example, packing is much easier if it's a box shape, but sending it back and folding it into a letter size can only be done in a bag shape. So this is a mix that we are very proud of, and it's really unique for our product. And it is a product package size fit. So it's not only that we have different sizes of a package, but we have the package itself kind of like fits in or adjusts to the size of the product inside. So if I'm sending, for example, an iPhone, I obviously have a little bit of an air protection, an inflatable protection, but it's the size of more or less the size of the iPhone itself. So this is from logistic and environmental standpoint, a huge benefit. So we are very excited. This product is currently in the MVP state, and we're working on a proof of concept soon, but also that's something that Elad will speak a bit later. So our packaging is obviously a physical packaging, but I also want to speak quickly about the smart packaging. We call it smart already because it's smart from the inflation and the engineering that we had, but it's also digitally smart. Our platform connects and tracks, and that's something that is super important. Every package, the RePack that is currently in the market and the RePack Beyond have a QR code and a unique ID. And our data monetization will allow us to really track all of, our platform will be able to track all of our packages, see exactly when they are where. We can instruct the consumer and the retailers to where to pick it up or where the packaging is, if there's any problem. We have a proper cycle management. We have a system for rewards and loyalty, and we can of course use it for marketing and feedback. So this is something that we are very keen of, and this is something that we are currently that we continuously develop, because we know that obviously data monetization is super important in our world, and also in the future this is definitely an additional recurring revenue stream for us. So we are very happy that we have this platform. This is something that we also acquired from RePack, and this is something that we're currently constantly improving, but already by now is giving us a lot of data that we can work with. And this traceability strength also allows us to really measure our environmental impact. So this traceability, if we look into the journey of our packaging, the different cycles that we do, we see that already from the second cycle, we're reducing emission dramatically. So this is compared to cardboard already 21% less carbon emission, and compared to LDPE plastic already 31%. So after 20 life cycles, this actually means that compared to single-use cardboard, we are having an environmental impact of minus 73% CO2, and in plastic bags minus 80%. So we can really make here a beautiful thing for the world, and that's why we are very, very excited, or I'm very excited. It's also easy to return. We have in whole Europe possibilities to drop off our package and send it back to our maintenance facilities. So this is something that is very important for us, that we can also operate cross-border. We are having definitely market focuses, but this is something that really also kind of differentiates ourselves from our competitors. So quickly summing up why we believe, or why we are happy that we joined forces, and why we believe that together we can actually scale the solution is, first of all, because RePack already has an infrastructure and clients. They have a running business, so it's an operation, and we can grow from this and get better from this. They have, as mentioned, huge global brand awareness. They have a proprietary in-house software. So this is something that is very important for us. Data is, we know, the future of the world, and they have know-how and experience. So this is something that we would have learned ourselves, but they kind of like bring to us. And we, from the other side, bring our patented smart packaging, our RePack Beyond. We have the expertise to to scale and to and have green production. So this is something that we know if we want to get high volume clients, we need to produce fast, and this is something that oceansix brings with it. We have a team of experts, and we'll speak about the team in a bit. And we have access to institutional money, and we know that this is a necessity to enable fast growth. So looking at the competitor comparison, what I just mentioned, this is also what makes us different, and this is the key differentiator that we are bringing. So on one hand, from a product perspective, we have one product for the fashion industry, but we also have a product that will allow us multi-category, and this is something that none of our competitors have, and it's a huge differentiator. Our IP will support us in keeping this advantage, so this is super important for us, as mentioned. From a system perspective, we have global return. This is something that will allow us to operate and acquire cross-border clients, and also something that none of our competitors have. And as mentioned, we believe that we are strongest positioned to really scale fast, and this market is moving, so we want to move fast, and we believe that we're set up for it. So yeah, we're ready to scale. We just talked about the desirability. We really see from a market perspective, the market is ready. From a legislation, from a consumer, from a retailer perspective, we know that the product is feasible, and the product is running, and it works, and we have a huge sustainable impact. So there's a lot of things that we are already tackling, and viability of the business is something that Elad will speak in a minute, where it's also exciting. Over to you.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you so much. Yeah, so cost efficiency, yeah. Why this hasn't been happening so far, and why this is so hard for others to execute this. If you go to send an envelope size package in your nearest post office, you'll end up paying over €3 per that individual shipment. So obviously not in volume, but individual shipments are very expensive, and when you ask users to return these packages, even if it's an envelope size package, then it's very expensive to send it individually. Therefore, the infrastructure is still not there. With RePack, we're happy to inform or to share the information that we already have this global postal flat rate returns from international shipping. So theoretically, if someone from Australia needs to send back the envelope, we have a flat rate which is reasonable beyond, which is around €2. Not that we want someone to send back packages from Australia because of emission, it doesn't make sense, but just to indicate that RePack is already ahead of the market with their flat rate commercial agreement. Now, additionally, the infrastructure, for example, in France, which is the current leading country in Europe towards reusable packaging solutions, is currently offered by La Poste, the French post office. And with their flat rate, the infrastructure allows returns in envelope size in France to cost about €1, maybe a bit more. Which is today only available in France. We believe that in the future will be available in other places, but it just demonstrates the trend in the market towards allowing this infrastructure to happen. Now, when we speak about the opportunity with RePack, and we have this access to additional returning points in addition to the normal backbone of the post mail, and an automated refurbishment solutions and processes to ensure that the cycle or the packages that we are collect are cleaned and maintenance processes quickly, and being able to reintroduce to the next cycle fast and efficiently based on our industrial experience with machine production and automation of industrial processes. This will allow us in the near future to drop this cost of cycles even lower. And the targeting point is below €1 per cycle for us. And we believe we will be able to achieve this very soon. And this is significant advantage comparing to other solutions that are out there. We're definitely aware of the fact that others are trying to build this, but together with RePack leading this competitive advantage further and beyond, we believe that we will be able to keep the advantage of building these infrastructure together. For example, we are now part of a pilot in Sweden that will explore additional return logistics infrastructures, from the post mail that currently available, kiosk, drop-off points, lockers, even the newspaper morning person that bring you the newspaper might be able to take back the packages. So we are exploring this, and we are miles ahead of the others in terms of the exploration process. And we strongly believe that this will allow us the advantage of the infrastructure, which is a big, important piece in this puzzle. Next slide, please. Now, assuming this all come handy, and we see the market already with the willingness to pay for such solutions from large brands, as Pia mentioned, Patagonia, Amazon, they are all understanding the wave of change in this market. And they know that in order to equip themselves, being ready to 2030, they already need to start their operation and start exploring these opportunities. We see the willingness to pay of these for such solution way above €2, 3 euros, 5 euros, depends on the different solutions. So from a unit economics perspective, we strongly believe that the reasonable, very conservative pay-per-use price would be 1.5 euros per cycle. So we plan as a business model to charge our clients for at least 1.5 euros per cycle. Now, from cost perspective, today, since we already have the product in the market and we have the production capacity, we, again, conservatively can indicate that production cost for a medium-size package will range around €1 today, and when we'll scale it, it will be definitely lower. And the return and refurbishment process that required to introduce that same package that just returned from an end consumer to another cycle with another shipment will cost roughly around additional €1. So just today, as we indicate, this graph will demonstrate that in a very conservative unit economics model, if you are able to run the same package, reuse it once again, and have it twice in the cycle, you are on par in a break-even point. And every cycle from then on is a cycle that generates revenues, gross margin, and profits. So this, in today's market, is feasible, scalable, and something that we can work with together with RePack. But in the future, we definitely, as I demonstrated the trends before and the demand that Pia discussed, we definitely see the market opportunities in our favor. Next slide, please. So having the infrastructure ready, building this on our own, having a product that is scalable today and ready to be sold, brings us to strongly focus into Europe today, where the market exists. We definitely see the market evolving in France and in Germany, but we aim to penetrate the 3 top countries in Europe in terms of volumes and e-commerce parcel deliveries in the next 2 years. We will start with France and Germany, and we definitely believe that once properly integrated our teams together with RePack in the next quarter, we will be able to scale the backlogged opportunity that RePack had and never been able to scale because of lack of resources, and grow our market footprint in these territories. And we hope that further beyond, we will be able to scale beyond Europe, but only time will tell until US, for example, will be ready for such solutions of sustainable reusable packaging. Next slide, please. Yeah, so implementing the assumptions that I just spoke of, the conservative business unit economics, the market opportunity, and the rest of the business model assumptions that we have in, this slide is here to indicate what would be a reasonable conservative opportunity in terms of revenue growth for a company that would like to tackle this market. With this, again, with the assumption that we have. In a 5-year times, a conservative assumption of 4% of the market share in the top 5 countries in Europe will result in a 390 million euros company. 5% of the total European market is a $1 billion company. So for us, the opportunity is huge, and the skills, experience, and current solution in the market, traction in the market, puts us in a very strong position, a really pole position to significantly grow our business in this market successfully. And we strongly believe and passionate that this is something that is reasonable to let's say, expect from ourselves, and therefore communicate to the industry and the public. We definitely believe that this is a great opportunity, and we definitely believe that that market will exist. The question is whether or not we will be able to achieve these market shares, but the market will definitely exist because it's inevitable that this change will come, and reusable packaging will become the new standard in e-commerce business. Next slide, please. Yeah, so from short-term roadmap perspective, we took the first quarter of this year to prepare our prototype, to file our provisional patents, to developing the RePack beyond what we call it now, because before that it was OXPack and oceansix pack. We negotiated multiple package proof of concept opportunity with strategic partners, and we definitely plan to execute this towards the end of the year. We kind of postponed this a bit because of the Amazon opportunity that and the RePack acquisition that we just had. This quarter, we are focusing into the integration of RePack into the team, working together, being able to scale properly in the next quarter in France and the proof of concept in Germany. And we definitely believe that we are equipped with the capacity to do so. We also announced recently public-private placement not too long ago, which we are planning to finalize and close early next quarter. And then in the future of that Q3 this year, we are planning to maybe introduce another tranche of a capital increase, because we definitely see the opportunity and the market appetite for sustainable reusable packaging solutions. And towards the end of the year, we definitely want to be able to prove the growth and scaling of the current operation that we acquired together with RePack, but also be already in the market, at least with a proof of concept and MVP proven solutions with our RePack Beyond product, because we strongly believe that that addressing more categories of e-commerce deliveries beyond fashion, beyond what others are currently doing, such as electronics, personal care, and many others, will open new opportunities for us in terms of growing our business, which is something that others are currently completely not looking at and don't have any solution for this. Next slide, please. And we are doing this with a great team of professionals. For the one that have seen several presentations of our before, you're familiar with the faces. I would like to emphasize 3 people here. One is Gat, who is the founder and chairperson of oceansix. Gat is a visionary businessman. He founded a company called Kapka, listed it in Amsterdam. This company is a 250 million euros company. It excelled post-consumer recycled plastics into smart large containers and pallets for the automotive and logistics industry. GUTS brings significant, endless experience with pooling and industry scalability, industry experts. I think that at the end of the day, if we are about to manage packages that are moving from one retail to end consumer and then back, it's pretty similar to the business of pallets and large containers for industrial logistics supply chains. And therefore, the experience that GUTS brings is enormous advantage for us. And the other two, which I like to emphasize a bit more, is Yone and Peter. Yone was the co-founder and CEO of RePack. In our new unified team, he will lead the commercial effort of RePack and oceansix, or RePack by oceansix. This commercial effort will be the customer facing towards our potential growth with new retailers. Yone is 13 years in this business of reusable packaging, way before the business ever exists, way before someone have thought of reusable packaging. And before that, he was providing expert services for life cycle analysis for carbon emissions. So he has strong experience and know-how in the field of carbon emission and reusable packaging, and he's a great contribution to the team. In our next session with investors, we will join him as well, and he will be able to introduce himself. And the third person I would like to emphasize a bit more about is Peter. Peter was also a co-founder in RePack, and he's an expert with technology in RePack. Because of lack of resources, he was also dealing with the operational part of RePack. But with the unified team in oceansix, he will lead the technology and the benefits that traceability and data will provide us as a company, and the advantages, the competitive advantages that will allow us to monetize this data into future recurring accumulating revenues. In that sense, Peter, with his experience in software development and software architects, is a huge contribution to the team. And the rest of the team, most of you are already familiar with, and I'll spare the time speaking more about ourselves. Next slide. Yeah, so for us, again, a great opportunity to introduce the company we are so passionate working for, and the solution that we are so passionate to deliver to the market and to introduce to the market. And without further ado, I would like to thank you for listening to us, and I would like to hand it over back to Trevor, opening officially the Q&A session.
Thank you, Elad, and thank you, Pia. We will now open it up to Q&A. If you do have a question, you can submit them in the Q&A module. Let's kick off with some of the questions that were submitted during the registration process. So, I mean, I think it goes without saying, the team behind this has come from success stories and, bigger businesses, and has the expertise to roll this out. As one might say, it's the jockey that's associated with the horse. And so, with this RePack acquisition, let's try to dig in a little deeper here on that. A lot of questions as it relates to it. So what gaps do you see RePack fills for oceansix, and how may this acquisition expedite growth in becoming a greater leader in the reusable packaging market?
Yeah, so I'll start. Maybe Pia will take additional info. So as Pia demonstrated, we identified some areas in the business that we were missing in oceansix, or in other words, it would have taken us too long to develop on our own, such as, for example, the software, the development of the IT infrastructure, which was inevitable solution. It's a crucial solution for the success of this business model, of this solution to scale. And RePack bring this. So they have an operating system that is running, that is tracing the current packages, and that is delivering value for their clients. Obviously, it's not sufficient enough. I mean, we need to improve it. We need to develop it. And so we plan to improve this further beyond, but we gain at least 12 months of development on our own if we would have wanted to do it in-house. And the second part is the backlog, the access, the brand awareness, as Pia just mentioned. So the opportunity of having a working product which is available in the market and just need the support of additional sales force, additional experience, as you said about the team, to create this complexity or solve this complexity of the infrastructure. I think that together we are now stronger to scale this faster. So from a team perspective, this is a great opportunity for us.
Thank you, Elad. Are you able to provide any clarity on the approximate market share that RePack has obtained in this market thus far?
No, I cannot, because the market is almost not existing. It's a very local market today. Only RePack has managed to grow cross-border solutions, solution, which with international shipping and return logistics services. It's very hard to quantify this market in terms of volumes, and therefore it's very hard to indicate what was the size of RePack in it. The research that Pia just shared are speaking about volumes and numbers in country level. In that sense, I'm happy to inform or to share that RePack were introduced almost to any country in Europe, even in the US as well already. So the backlog, the opportunity, the potential to re-engage and to scale in this country exists with the RePack team and the RePack asset. And therefore, we have high expectations to really achieve this quickly and fast.
This other question actually is a perfect transition. So now with RePack, what is Oceansix's geographic footprint, and do you envision there will be key initial countries you'll be focused on?
We want to conquer the world, but we know that it will take us time. Yeah, we strongly believe that this market will consolidate into a limited handful few of solutions, and we definitely plan to be one of the stronger players out there. But reality, and pragmatic business development journey is required. We will focus in Europe where the market is now. We will focus in the countries, France and Germany, as I just said before, that are more, let's say, developed in terms of their infrastructure and client appetites. And from Europe, we definitely plan to scale beyond. I think that in the upcoming 2 years, unless significant changes will arise with a strong demand from the US, we'll be a European scaling company. And despite the fact that we had some opportunities in the US, building the business in US is very expensive, and we'll address this as soon as we are ready. And with a strong strategic partner, this might come much earlier. But reality, again, as I see the business development, I don't see US as progress as Europe in terms of culture and market awareness.
Would you say that the strategy is going to be a little bit more demand centric, or focus a little bit more so on the countries that are mandating this? For example, take Germany. I mean, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more from that perspective on regulations.
Pia, do you want to take the regulation one?
Yeah, sure. So regulation-wise, we have seen, as mentioned, the PPWR legislation has been introduced already a year ago, and we've seen that this is even increasing. So the market, the government is actually pushing more. So until a month ago, this was 10% in 2030 and 40% in 2040, and now this has been shifted to 40% reusable and 70% in 2040. So there has been even an increase of targets. We see a little bit that it's obviously it needs to be played locally, and that's where we see, for example, France that really already put locally the targets to retailers. But this is something that we see coming, because at some point there is no chance. So it's really this reusability and also recyclability. So all of the actually 100% of the products that need to go inside, also the 40% reusable, need to be recyclable. So there is really a strong push from a government perspective.
But if I may, one more point, it's not that we believe that the business will happen only because of regulation. Yeah? It will happen way before. Regulation is just another catalyst into this market or incentive for others. Because in other markets we see companies preferring to pay the fines and not changing their infrastructure, right? So we definitely believe that with our strengths, skills, and capabilities to develop this new infrastructure, which will make economically sense for the clients, this would what allow us to scale fast. And then regulation will follow, and we will be in a much nicer world where it will be easier for us to scale, but then it will also be easier for others to scale, and we want to be there ready before the others are.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you, Elad. Can you provide more detail on how the return process works on a step-by-step basis?
Happy to do so. As mentioned, the consumer gets the package itself, which is usually the size of the product inside. I will take out if I would be now the end consumer, would take out the product, will be able to fold it into a letter size. And this is something that is super important. And in both of our products are one of the key features that we are having, or one key feature that we are having. So we're able to make it into a letter size. As mentioned, we have a patent on a return flip in the current product that is already on the market, which kind of like is a flip that you'll take out from the product itself to close it also. So it's also closing the package. And then you already have a return label pre-printed that you just then need to go, for example, let's talk about France. La Poste has a lot of mailboxes around conveniently about in any neighborhood. So you'll just send it back, putting it into this mailbox. It will be directly sent to our warehouses. Sometimes for economical efficiency, obviously we would consolidate it somewhere and then ship it from there into our maintenance facilities as a bulk shipment. And then we'll take care of it and send it back, like clean it, refurbish it, and send it back to the client.
This is also a great opportunity for us to engage with the end consumers. When the consumer gets the package and doesn't know what to do with it, although it's very simple and easy, you can scan the QR code and then see the data about the package. It has a name. It circled into the cycle 30 times. It was in this and that areas of the world. It consumes such an amount of carbon emission. So the gamification part and the engagement with the end users is something that others don't have. And in such case, this would allow us future additional, business models and revenue streams. But we definitely aim to a point where no further than 500 meters from your place, you have a point, a drop-off point, a locker, a supermarket, post-mail delivery point where you can return these packages, and then we collect it and do the rest of the magic.
It goes without saying, and it sounds like the infrastructure is somewhat already in place. I mean, there are mailboxes on almost every corner. So it's the package that the e-com pack that oceansix has developed, that versus what RePack has. There's obviously these synergies here. So this question speaks to that. So oceansix's e-com pack is different to RePack's packaging solution as it relates to the features. Do you anticipate one solution will become the company's standard solution? I think that speaks to Pia's point earlier as it relates to RePack Beyond. So perhaps, Pia, if you don't mind elaborating a little bit more on this and perhaps timing of rollout.
I think, as mentioned, we're having a modular production here. So I don't want to say there's the RePack Beyond will be the standard or the current version will be the standard. It's just really different and targeting different industries. So if we say the outer layer, which is the current version of the product of RePack, is actually targeting any product such as fashion that doesn't need any protection. And then we have the RePack Beyond that then goes into electronics, home care, personal care, or food, etc. So it's a standard for different industries, but it's at the end of the day, it's one package that from the outside and from a consumer perspective feels very same. So I don't want to differentiate them at the current stage. The RePack Beyond, as mentioned, is for multi-category, but not for the fashion industry. So it doesn't eliminate the current product that we are having. And we're working on the POC these days, and we're hoping to close it within the next couple of months with a German retailer, and then officially launch beginning of next year latest.
Is it safe to say that the shipping label that's on the e-com pack would also be, if you want to call it, manufactured into the pipeline of RePack's products in order to be a part of that circular economy and reusable packaging and returning?
Elad?
I'm not sure I fully understood the question, but I would say one thing about labeling. In our vision in the future, we really want to eliminate labeling completely, yeah? Because if you have digital manners to track this, why would you need a label? But we see that logistics couriers and retailers of the world. I've been to Amazon last week. I've been in their facilities. I don't see the labeling, let's say, the ending a point in time. They keep using this labeling because of internal requirements, and it will take significant resources to change the whole industry. But we will definitely be ready for this once the time comes and industry won't require labeling.
Thank you. What is the life of your reusable package? How many cycles?
This is a challenging question because if someone gets it, likes it very much, and use it for their supermarket, grocery stores without returning it to the loop, then it's one cycle and we lost it. Yeah. So it's very hard to answer this because return rates are a significant part of the success here. But from product perspective, there is no reason why the product will not be able to ship into the loop tens of times, hundreds of times. It's a matter of rigidness and durability of the material. And the material that we are developing our package upon will be able to last this amount of cycles. But whether or not we'll be able to achieve the 100 cycle number depends on other factors in the equation, which are beyond our reach or our control, such as if we make a great product, someone keep it at home.
So the education for the consumer is key, to make sure that they understand the positive outcome here, the sustainable solution that you're embarking on. Maybe you can elaborate on, maybe high level, the incentive program that perhaps might be rolled out for these consumers.
Yeah, I'll start by saying that educating the consumers are not oceansix or RePack job alone. Yeah, this is something that we already see in the market, regardless of our progress. Yeah, so consumers are becoming more and more aware of the necessity of such a solution. Second is that the retailers of the world, our client, will be the one that facing the client when they come to a decision whether or not to purchase their delivery through a reusable package or single-use one. Yeah. So the first interaction with the client will be from our clients. We will provide our clients with all the manners required to introduce this properly, the seamless integration, the easy to return, and we will introduce together with the clients the incentive program, which would be a monetary, voucher for next purchase. This can be points for gamification. This can be other manners that client, the retail, will prefer to have in their network. And we also, as we discussed before in different occasions, we will have the opportunity to introduce carbon credits into this opportunity, into this process, but it's too soon to say how and when. And it depends strongly on the commitment of the retail of our client to participate in such.
Thank you for that. We are coming up on time here, so we'll try to take just a couple more. What types of strategic partners will you be focused on that should support the infrastructure and growth moving forward?
I would differentiate into two big buckets of potential. One is the strategic clients for us. So we'll integrate with the largest e-commerce retailers, players in different territories to learn better their needs, what actually they require for such a solution to happen in their network. This is similar to what we just did with Amazon in the accelerator. Yeah, we now know what is required for scaling in Amazon. And we have the point of contact of the people in Amazon that are dealing with this. So even if this one doesn't happen, we have this contact for the next round, for the future, for the decision makers. So this is one part of it. The second part of the partnerships that we're after are the infrastructure owners or opportunities there. So companies with drop-off points, with lockers, maybe brick and mortar physical points of return that we can utilize into our network, they will become our partners. If we're able to strategically align with the DHLs of the world to make this infrastructure available and economical feasible, this is something that we're strongly after, and we're already in discussions and trying to develop this course. But this will be more of a partnership rather client-supplier relationship.
Thank you, Elad. Do you anticipate you'll be able to obtain non-dilutive funding or government grants?
We see European Union mainly addressing the sustainability problem in different manners. One of it is the elimination of plastic and single-use materials. These public grants are available in Europe in different kind of countries and different kind of manners. And we are mapping these opportunities to tailor our solution towards. We definitely see these opportunities coming and growing, and we definitely plan to tag along with such opportunities in the near future.
Some important questions coming through here. We will try to wrap up here quickly, but does RePack already have a footprint in North America?
They had, the operation was there, but it never scaled. And for the time being, it's let's say it's the infrastructure that we need to strongly think through whether or not we would like to revive and scale.
Got it. And then is RePack itself recyclable?
Yes, of course.
Okay, figured so. And for our last question, Elad, could you please provide a summary of OceansX's near-term milestones that investors can look forward to, including any trials or POCs that you're going through now?
Yeah, I would say the four points. The first is the integration with RePack. So we are focusing now in integrating the teams together and to scale the business opportunity. The development of the RePack Beyond. So this year we plan to have at least 2 types of MVPs and pilots up and running with new strategic clients in the territories that we're after. The third one is the private placement, which is now open, and towards the end of the year we will have additional tranche that we're planning to execute. Because we strongly believe that scaling will bring new opportunities for investors as well as for us, and CapEx is something that, or capital, this is something that will be required for scaling faster than others. And the last is that I strongly believe that the team will grow. We definitely need the complexity of this problem is enormous. Yeah, we need the right partnerships. We need the right team, and therefore we will grow the team as well as the partnerships towards a more, let's say, scalable solution which we can scale faster and beyond. For example, if we want to go into a new territory, this would be a great opportunity for us to introduce new people locally to develop these markets. So these are the four main points that we're taking with that conversation.
Thanks, Elad, and thanks, Pia. Exciting story here, and thanks everyone for joining oceansix's webinar. As a reminder, please keep an eye out for oceansix's brief investor survey, which will be emailing you all shortly. Your opinions are important to management, as the trends will help strengthen oceansix's investor communications efforts and guide the focus of upcoming events. Again, today's recording will soon be made available on oceansix's website at oceansix.com, and we'll also be emailing that around. If you have any additional questions that have not been addressed or that have not already been submitted, please email us at oceansix@rbmilestone.com so management can review and respond to accordingly. Again, that's oceansix@rbmilestone.com. Thanks again. That concludes today's event. You are now free to disconnect. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.